Good afternoon. This is Jen Kitzmiller at the National Weather Service in Missoula, and I have your weather planning briefing for August 18th, 2020. So we are entering into an active period in terms of thunderstorms. We'll be looking at some nocturnal or nighttime storms possible tonight, Tuesday night, and then really kind of the meat of our thunderstorm period comes in Wednesday into Thursday. On Thursday, we are looking at a weakening of the ridge of high pressure with a weak cold front moving in. So with that, we're going to be looking at some increasing winds and some slightly cooler temperatures. And then looking out Friday and beyond, we'll be looking at dry, breezy, slightly cooler, though still above normal temperatures for Friday into the weekend. So here's a look at current satellite imagery. What I'm showing here is in the infrared part of the satellite, and so that's showing how cold or how high in the atmosphere the cloud tops are reaching. And the main thing I want to point out here is this feed of moisture that starts all the way off of the Northern California coast and extends all the way up into north central Idaho and western Montana. So that is really leading to some increasing moisture in the area and is going to be responsible for triggering thunderstorms moving forward as we get these individual waves of energy moving through with the moisture. So here's the overall look at the pattern for the Tuesday and Wednesday time frame. We still have that ridge of high pressure pretty well anchored over the region all the way into Wednesday. You'll see a little bit of a southwest flow aloft, and that's what's ushering that moisture into us off the California coast. But for the most part, we're going to continue above normal temperatures. Today, Tuesday, is likely the warmest or the last excessively warm day, and then we'll see a slight cooling into Wednesday, though it's going to be pretty minimal, just a few degrees really. Due to that southwest flow and that moisture, there are going to be some waves of energy that are going to be triggering some thunderstorms. I'll go through the details of that here in a minute. Initially, the storms may kind of start off dry or on the drier side, especially tonight, Tuesday night. But with all that moisture working its way in, we are thinking that the storms are going to become gradually more moist with time, especially directly under thunderstorm cores. There should be some wetting rains to be had with that. The main threats with the thunderstorms going from tonight all the way into Wednesday will be the lightning and potentially gusty outflow winds. Some of the storms, particularly in central Idaho, later this evening and tonight could have outflow winds of 40 to 50 mile per hour. So that's going to be the big watch out thing for this evening and going into Wednesday. And as I mentioned, there's going to be a couple periods where we could see some nocturnal storms. Okay, so what I'm showing here is one model's output of what our thunderstorm coverage might look like starting this afternoon and going into Wednesday. And so the first thing I'll point out here is that really until later this evening, we're not expecting much in the way of thunderstorms. There's some indications there could be a few isolated storms popping through the Idaho panhandle and moving into northwest Montana, but those should be pretty isolated. We don't have a lot of confidence in those occurring. The more pronounced forcing that we're going to be seeing is going to be occurring through central Idaho. This timestamp here is at 4 p.m. Pacific time, and so you'll see we're starting to get a storms forming there and moving into central Idaho after that 5 to 6 p.m. time frame. So the exact placement of that storm may vary. You'll see it looks like more isolated type coverage, but wherever that does develop, again, there will be that potential for lightning and those gusty outflow winds. Moving forward, some of that activity kind of pushes slowly into southwest Montana late tonight. This is out towards like 9 p.m. But I'll point out that there's the second wave of energy coming up from Oregon late this evening. And so that's going to set off another round of potential showers and thunderstorms through central Idaho, and then gradually spreading into southwest Montana and maybe even into west central Montana really late tonight and early Wednesday morning. So because of the timing with this wave, we don't have a ton of confidence in how much lightning is going to occur with it. There is potential that we'll see some lightning strikes through the night. But as far as how widespread that is, since it's not timed with the best heating of the day, it's a little bit tougher to pick out how much lightning is really going to occur with this. And as I mentioned, things are going to be gradually moistening up to where I think these thunderstorms won't be completely dry. They probably won't have a lot of moisture with them initially tonight, but there is some potential to see a little bit of rain with these. As we go forward, you'll see some of that convection really blossoms across southwest Montana. This right here would be around 10 a.m. Mountain time on Wednesday morning. So some convection possible there. And then as we get into the afternoon hours, it looks like the Wednesday afternoon is probably going to be our most active time frame as far as potential for thunderstorms and lightning activity. However, it looks like it's mainly going to be focused along the Bitterroot Divide in Idaho, south and east into the Bitterroot and the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forests. There is some potential it could possibly creep up into the Lolo, but we have lesser confidence in that. Now, as we get into tomorrow afternoon, there is going to be sufficient moisture around where we think that a lot of these thunderstorms will have some rainfall with them. Anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch would be possible underneath these thunderstorm cores. So they're not going to be completely dry, but there is going to be that increased threat for lightning. And then going forward into Wednesday night, there is another threat of seeing some lingering showers and thunderstorms even into the overnight hours. As we get into Thursday, the pattern does start to shift a little bit. You'll see here our ridge of high pressure. The main axis of that kind of shifts further eastward into central and even eastern Montana. And that leaves us more in the wake of this incoming really kind of flat trough that's going to be approaching the area. It looks like that feature is going to push a very weak cold front through the area. I hesitate to even call it a cold front. It will cool things down, but only minimally, just a few more degrees going into Thursday. But that air mass change that's going to occur will be enough to increase some winds, so things may become a little bit breezy. We're thinking maybe gusts to 25 miles per hour or so in the more exposed locations. As I said, things will be trending slightly cooler, though we are still going to be running above normal for this time of year. It's just not going to be as excessively above normal as what we've seen early this week. But dry RHs are going to be trending drier in this period. There's going to be some drier air coming in behind that front, and really we'll kind of lose that tap of moisture that I showed you on satellite imagery. So things will be tending a little bit drier. The one exception is there will still be a thunderstorm threat generally across southwest Montana, so mainly for the Bitterroot and the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest could see another round of thunderstorms on Thursday. Other areas should remain without thunderstorm threat by this point. And then moving forward Friday into the weekend, the pattern really doesn't change a lot. Overall, we're still going to be looking at kind of southwest flow with the ridge off further to our east and trough off to our west. So that kind of sets up those cooler, those still above average temperatures, dry RHs, especially across southwest Montana, and continued breezy afternoons all the way into the weekend. It does look like during this time frame, because we'll have lost our tap into that Pacific moisture, the threat for thunderstorms Friday into the weekend does look relatively low. Looking at the 6 to 10 day outlook, there's a maybe slightly enhanced chance of some above normal precipitation. It's only a slightly enhanced increase for precipitation in that August 23rd to August 27th time frame. There are some hints that maybe we'll get more of a trough starting to approach the region as we approach that time frame, so that could influence that chance of precipitation. And then overall, the outlook is for above normal temperatures, though you will see due to that trough, there's some below normal temperatures creeping into Washington. So possibly as we get further out, a week and a half from now, we could see some of those cooler temperatures into our neck of the woods. Here's a look at our weather threat matrix just to wrap this up. Wednesday we have highlighted for the most active day in terms of thunderstorms, with west central and southwest Montana kind of being the focus of that activity. Moving forward into Thursday, we cool off slightly, but overall it'll remain dry, especially across southwest Montana, and we'll have wind to deal with. And then going forward Friday into the weekend, it looks breezy. So with that, feel free to give us a call if you have any questions or concerns. Otherwise, we will provide you with our next briefing on Thursday. Have a great week.